Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and we're just going to go take a nice, easy E-Trike ride while I test a microphone that I'm using to see if my setup really works. Now I have to cough. Excuse me. So, we'll test it out and see how it works, and at the end of the video I will show you what I'm talking about. So in the meantime, we're just going to go for a little ride, and I'll tell you another story, and I won't make it quite as long as the last one. I think it was like almost 20 minutes long. And you got more important things to do than to watch a video of an old guy riding a trike for 20 minutes. I got to slow way down here because there's so many bumps. And so, anyway, I was going to do things chronologically as I start telling stories. And I'll try to stick with that. No cars coming. I'll try to stick with that as much as I can. And we'll see how that goes. So I'll ask you a question. Got a bike coming up here. Morning. So I'll ask you a question. When your very first day of school, kindergarten, first grade, did you get into a fight with anybody? Well, I did. So I'll tell you that story. It was we didn't have kindergarten at my school, and I remember before school started, my parents took me to, this was in the Seattle area, and they took me to the Sears store, which back then was one big huge building, and it was down by the rail yards. That's all I remember about it. But anyway, bought me a brand new coat, and it was like a fuzzy material and nice and warm, that kind of a coat. That was for me to wear to school. So I don't remember how I got to school. I think we took a school bus on the first day. After that, we always took the school bus. And so got to school, and I still remember my teacher's name, and that was Mrs. Furtick. And she was an older lady, and just a real sweet lady, and I was a little brat. So anyways, what she wanted to do to start the morning on the first day was to sit with her back to the blackboard and have in a semicircle, have us put our chairs in a semicircle around facing her. And I was about halfway around, pretty much straight looking at her. And so the first thing she wanted to do was have us stand up and tell our name. And she started over on her left side, and little girl stands up and says, "I'm Susie," and the little boy stands up and says, "I'm Billy," and it kept coming around. And the little boy sitting next to me, he stood up and he said, "My name is Johnny." Well, as he went to, I remember now, I'm 6 years old, first day of school. As he went to sit down, I pulled his chair out from under him. Yep, that's what I did. All right, so I pulled his chair out from, we have to be careful on this road, it's full of holes. So I pulled his chair out from under him, and he crashed to the ground, and everybody laughed, and worked just the way I wanted it to. And I don't know what the teacher thought, but eventually she learned what kind of a little brat I was. So, so I don't remember all the details after that, but I do remember that as it came time for recess, I went over to what they call the cloakroom and got my brand new coat, all nice and clean and furry. And I was going down the steps to go out and play on the playground And when I got to the bottom of the steps, I was, now we got a wind blowing. I don't know if you can see the trees moving. But as we got to the bottom of the steps, as I got to the bottom of the steps, I was still buttoning up my coat. Didn't quite have it all the way buttoned up when all of a sudden, from behind, boom, I was tackled. and so it was the kid whose chair I had pulled out. He was going to get even with me. And so he tackled me, and we got into this big fight. Well, I don't remember. I think he probably won. Anyway, excuse me. So we wrestled around, and eventually, as time went by, we became very, very good friends. His name was Johnny, and we played with each other every recess. We just had a lot of fun together. So we became very, very good friends. And that was my first day of school. So I never pulled a chair out from anybody again in school after that. When I was in high school, my buddy and I sat together at this table in math class, and I never did very well in math back then. Eventually, I learned what it was worth, and we gotta go around a big bump here. I learned what it was worth and got much better at math. But anyway, at that point in time, I think it was an algebra class, and we sat next to each other, and the teacher had put us at the table right in front of his desk. Now, it wasn't a very deep table. It was just a table, and you could put your notebook on it and stuff. And so I came in, he was sitting there. It was time for class to begin, and and so I'm sorry, I just remember these things. And so I went to sit down, and guess what he did? That's right, no chair behind my butt. He pulled my chair out, and of course, as I went down, I reached for anything that would help me stop falling. And of course, the teacher, I don't remember what it was, but the teacher had a bunch of stuff on his desk. I pulled it off on top of me, and once again, things didn't go the way I planned. So anyway, those are some stories and I've got more stories about things that happened in school. But anyway, so that's today's story. And we're on a bike ride. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and go on my bike ride. And then when I get home, I'm going to attach that part to the end of this video and show you what the camera setup is that I'm working with. So right now I'll just go ahead and go on my e-bike ride, get my exercise, and I'll meet you at my house, okay? All right. All right, we're pulling into my son's house, and I'll just pull over here somewhere. This would be good right here, and I'll show you how my microphone is set up. So take that. Now I'm going to be handling the microphone, so I don't have any idea how it's going to end up looking or sounding. So let me get these up, and then I reach in here where the microphone is. I don't know if you notice a little black thing. That's a magnet with electrical tape on it, and I'll just stick it to the back of this. And this is the microphone that I've been using, And so I had it underneath my shirt to keep the wind from bothering it. I'm not sure if that's how it's going to end up, but I'll put this on the video and we'll all find out, okay? So in the meantime, I want to thank you for watching my video, and God bless.